Hi everyone, it's Taylor here today and welcome to a video which I've been looking forward to. I said in my Queen's Park review that the Rovers were going to release a massive kind of document kind of thing that gives you their plan for promotion. So it's been released today under the title Phase 2. It talks about everything from basic on-the-field performance to improvements, if you like, to new pitches, a new pitch, railway stand, ultras, merch sales, all this kind of stuff that's all going to come together. And I was thinking, how am I going to do this? How am I going to present this to people? And then I realised I could just go through this section by section, give my opinion, and you could do the same thing in the comments. So I'm going to go through section by section. There's going to be timestamps linked below. So if there's anything you're particularly interested in, you can go and take a look. So let's jump straight into this. Let's start with the intro to this document, which is a statement from the board. When we took on the privileged role of custodians of Raith Rovers Football Club in May 2023, our vision was clear: to build sustainable long-term success on the pitch, safeguard the club's future and strengthen its place at the heart of the local community. Looking back on the season just past, we share the disappointment of not being able to at least match the achievements of our first year, and reach the promotion playoffs once again. It was not for a lack of effort from everyone associated with the club. While we didn't achieve our goals on the pitch this season, we have continued to make progress off of it. Improving infrastructure, increasing revenue and building a clear strategy for the future. Over the past 3 months, the board have been working in the background on what comes next. This includes consulting supporters through surveys, one focused on the matchday experience and another simply asking, what does Raith Rovers mean to you? The results of both have provided valuable insight to help shape our strategy. This document outlines the strategy in detail, including the projects and initiatives planned for Phase 2, covering the next 2 seasons. So that's the intro to the Phase 2 document, and I quite like it. It's the board saying that we're going to meet you where you're at. We are just as disappointed as you that we didn't make the playoffs this year. This season was really inconsistent and had some pretty painful moments. Ones that are coming to the top of my head are things like 4-0 against Queen's Park, 3-1 against Dunfermline, the 2-0 loss against Dunfermline at East End Park wasn't great either now that I think about it. 3-3 against Morton, the draw against Airdrie at the start of the season, just so many moments of pain. But it's good to see the board meeting us where we're at, I suppose, and also showing, look, we're listening to you, we've made these surveys, and these surveys are central to our Phase 2 plan. So pretty good intro all round, in my opinion.
We have some recent history, so let's just jump into this. So, as a club, we are strangers to the top flight of Scottish football. In 144 years, we have spent just 22 seasons in Scotland's top division. It's been 28 years since we were last there, yet during that time, clubs of similar or arguably smaller level have enjoyed multiple seasons, such as Livingston, Hamilton, Inverness, Falkirk, Dunfermline, Partick Thistle and Ross County. Over the last 28 years, there has been a cycle best illuminated in the graph below. After relegation to the First Division in 1996-97, we have yo-yoed between the second and third tiers of Scottish football, with only a few attempts at gaining promotion back to the premiership, usually followed by a drop back down to mid or lower table finishes in the following season. How do we break the cycle? Last season was one of those attempts at returning to the top flight, and the best we've had it in 28 years, but we fell short. Once again, we experienced something all too familiar. We dropped back down the table and sadly missed out on another attempt at promotion for the second season running. But we are aware of it, and we want to change it. We believe Raith Rovers should be competing regularly and sustainably at the top level of Scottish football. And as you can see, there is a graph here where I believe it's our pyramid position and it's our calendar year. And the pattern's pretty damning. Yeah, pretty much. Go for promotion, don't get promoted. Go low next season, go for promotion, don't get promoted, go low next season.
So that was just them describing the sort of pattern that you're seeing here, where we have moments where we're up looking for promotion and then we go way down, something to the point of being relegated, like in 2018. Yeah, from my experience, that's pretty much it. The first full season that I remember was the 2010-11 season, where we went down to the wire against Dunfermline. We didn't make it in the end. Next season, I think we finished something like 7th, 8th maybe. And then we're sort of lingering mid-table to lower mid-table for a couple of seasons after that. And then, of course, they mentioned the big one, the 2023-24, where we almost get there, and then we sort of fall at the end. Dundee United were the far better team. The goal difference that season kind of just shows it. But yeah, that's sort of been the pattern. I think if you asked the Rovers fan, if you asked me, and I realistically had to ask, where do Raith Rovers, where would you say you should be in the pyramid? I'd typically just say Championship. I wish I could say Premier League, but I think most of your sort of die-hard fans, someone that's been going to the game for 20 years straight, and if you ask them where do Raith belong at the moment, they'd probably say second tier. So as you can see, phase 1, they're saying that's been complete. While our ownership and management of Raith Rovers only became official in May 2023, our due diligence and planning began much earlier in the year. From the outset, we focused on identifying areas where we could make an immediate impact through our time, expertise, and financial investment. These efforts have all been directed towards our goal of growing the football club and can be grouped into 4 key areas outlined below. That being, we recognised, so let's just go here, this is infrastructure, I believe is what we're talking here. So we recognised that the football environment at Starks Park was below the standard we felt our manager, coaching staff and players should expect at this level. We believe that by creating an elite environment, we can foster better performance, and that's what we set out to do immediately. So in regard to the environment, the board have completed significant upgrades, including new changing rooms with improved washing facilities for players, a new physio area and gym, a new manager's office and football staff offices. These projects have completely revamped the football department's environment within the main stand. Not only do we believe these upgrades gave us marginal gains on the pitch, but they also create a better environment to attract talent. We hired a chef so players could have freshly cooked meals for breakfast and lunch every day, something they weren't receiving before. This improves their nutrition while also strengthening the team culture by encouraging players to spend more time together. Investments were also made into non-football areas at Starks Park. A new office was built in the railway stand to accommodate 2 employees, and we upgraded equipment in the main office to provide the team with much better tools for their daily tasks. So before, this is what the dugouts looked like. The dugouts look like this now. Before, this is what the changing room looked like. This is what the changing room looks like now. Wow. I think it's undeniable to go and say that the board has improved infrastructure at the club. Even if you haven't seen all that stuff with the dressing room and the club shop, which it gets into later, the dugouts, things like that. The main stand is far better now, just from outside, from an aesthetic perspective, in my opinion. I think that's an undeniable statement. Infrastructure's improved a lot. Railway stand having a space for 2 employees is also, that's showing some potential that we might get into later. So now we're talking about revenue generators. More often than not, the team with the highest budget will be the most successful in a division. Over the last 28 seasons, we estimate that Raith Rovers has never had the highest budget in the second tier, and perhaps not even the second highest. Breaking the cycle and returning the club to the top league will require a larger playing budget, and that can only be achieved by maximising revenue opportunities off the pitch. Let's start with some new hires. We added 2 full-time employees to the business. Graham Kilgore as Business Development and Hospitality Manager, responsible for bringing in commercial partners and enhancing our hospitality offering. And Grace Fowley as Digital Marketing Executive, tasked with strengthening our digital strategy to engage more supporters and improve marketing to both new and existing fans. So kiosks. Reviewing the accounts, one of the standout areas of improvements was the matchday kiosks. The matchday kiosks. Have we mentioned this before? By taking control of the operation and partnering with Stewart's, along with record attendances last season, revenue rose by 1,325% from 2022-23 to 2023-24. Retail was another area of focus. A lot of effort went into the strategy with creative approaches to replica shirt design and merchandise offerings, along with a rise in supporter numbers and growing excitement around the club. Retail revenue increased by 59% over the same period. Hospitality. Based on supporters' feedback, we recognise that the hospitality offering needed improvement. Not only have we improved the overall experience, but we've also built a new lounge. We've also built a new lounge by converting the old physio area and player lounge. This adds 65 covers, bringing our total hospitality capacity to 165 across 3 lounges. Next season will be the first full season at Starks Park with such a large hospitality facility. The new hospitality lounge, along with the refurbished boardroom, which now combines the old 2711 lounge and tea room, provides 2 premium spaces within the main stand that can be booked by local businesses and used by the club and community foundation for events. Well, in the modern game, money does talk, and Raith hasn't exactly been balling, let's be honest, over the last few years. So it's good to see that they're talking a lot about increasing revenue sources by using kiosks, hospitality, retail sales, that sort of stuff. I like the focus on the shirt design. Away shirt this year is really, really nice. It's in there somewhere. Really good. Kiosks, really important. It'll be really good. 1,000% insane, but I'm slightly concerned that it's going to be a bit lower this year. Just because of the dip in form. Hospitality is really something that I'm quite proud of, actually, because that really does increase that 165 as a capacity. If you're filling that every week, that's a massive increase to your revenue. So I'd say revenue and getting revenue sources up is looking pretty good. Now we're talking about a big one, fan engagement. We identified significant potential for new supporters by analysing match ticket and season ticket trends over previous seasons, alongside the potential population catchment area within a 5-mile radius of Starks Park. We estimate it to be around 120,000 people. As well as this, we recognised that the Raith Rovers support was ageing, so engaging younger fans was key to securing the club's future. So, the singing section. Immediately, we set out to create a singing section by holding a series of trials while respecting feedback from all supporters via several surveys. This has been a big challenge for us, but it is something we are determined to achieve in Phase 2. More on this later. Digital strategy. We designed a bold, innovative digital strategy to stand out from other clubs, sometimes cheeky and tongue-in-cheek, while always respecting the brand. We generated significant virality. This increased reach created a buzz around the club, with more people talking about Raith Rovers and younger fans wanting to feel part of it. Matchday posters. The matchday posters were born creating a collectible item that were designed to be fun and engaging, particularly with younger people. These were distributed ahead of every home match in schools and pre-match. A child bringing home a free poster from school with details of the upcoming match and encourages more families to attend. Communication. We also increased engagement with supporters through more frequent communication. This included sharing messages and content from the board of directors, conducting surveys to understand areas for improvement, and giving fans the opportunity to weigh in on certain matters such as whether to allocate the railway stand to Dundee United when they visited Starks Park. Matchday experience. Finally, the matchday experience was a major focus for us. This included everything from the sound system and music selection before, during and after the game to the variety of food and drink available in the kiosks. We worked on every aspect to ensure supporters had a positive experience with all controllable elements. Visually, we made improvements as well with modern dugouts, goalposts, nets and freshly painted walls, all improving the pitch side experience. I think that it's really hard to deny again that the matchday experience hasn't improved massively in the past 2 years. Yeah, I'm really happy with how things have done. I know there has been issues with ultras. That's you go into that in the next section, or I think the section just after that, I believe. But you know, I think they provided really good atmosphere overall. There have been a couple bad apples in the bunch, but really good atmosphere overall. And I think the experience has just been so much more tight. I feel like it's a lot more. It feels like you're going to a Premier League ground, in my opinion. Whereas a couple of years ago, Starks Park was looking a bit, kind of, wasn't looking the best. It was looking like it was past its years a little bit, and the food selection was basically steak pie, mince pie, macaroni pie. So yeah, I mean, absolutely massive improvement. I don't think the kiosks took card when I at the sort of time that I'm thinking of as well. So all these little things create a big improvement to the atmosphere, to the idea, communication, the posters, the digital engagement with the fans has been really, really good. I've never seen something like that from Raith before. The posters have been great. Have been really good for getting a bit of banter in there. Maybe it's great. And it gets other teams, and it gets, more importantly, other people within the Kirkcaldy or within the Fife area talking about Raith Rovers and going, maybe I'll go and see them one week and they might become a fan. So, I'm all for that, in my opinion. So this is where it really begins. Phase 2, let's do it together. Our mission remains unchanged to return Raith Rovers to the Premiership in a sustainable way, ensuring that we stay there for the long term while preserving our role at the heart of our local community. The next section outlines a series of initiatives and projects built around these core objectives. Number 1, continue strengthening fan engagement to grow local support by deepening the sense of belonging and family connection at Starks Park. Number 2, develop new revenue streams and improve existing ones to generate more self-sustaining income for reinvestment in the football department. Number 3, further advance the football department through analysis and data-led recruitment strategy to gain an edge over higher budget clubs. It's looking good so far, but let's jump into those details. So number 1 is fan engagement. Fan engagement, we're committed to continually improving how we engage with fans as we work to grow the Raith Rovers support base. Why do people support Raith Rovers? What role can the club play in people's lives? That's exactly what we set out to understand when we asked supporters, what does supporting Raith Rovers means to you? Here are some examples. It's somewhere for me and my mum to go together, from an 8-year-old boy to now a 52-year-old man. It means everything to support my local team. It's part of my DNA. I'll always be a fan no matter what league we're in. This is what we want to build on, bringing more people to Starks Park and giving them that same sense of belonging, a place to connect with others, friends, family, or even total strangers. People don't come to watch Raith Rovers for the quality of football. You can get that from your sofa on a Saturday. They come to feel part of something real, something local, something that connects them to their local community. Quote number 1 and quote number 4 hit the nail on the head for me. It's all about the community. You can watch a Premier League game, an English Premier League game or a Scottish Premier League game and get a higher standard of football, but then just not feel connected to the club. It's all about being connected to the club. It's your team. Raith Rovers is your team. It's your club. It's your town. And it's your people that are fans. We're all fans of Raith Rovers. We're a one-club town, Kirkcaldy. So, yeah, quote 1 and 2 hit the nail on the head, and I think that's what we should really be focusing on in the engagement, getting more people to feel like that and connected to Raith Rovers, because we're all Raith Rovers fans, we're all from Kirkcaldy. They're focusing a lot on the female demographic, so we recognise that we need to do more to attract and engage female supporters, not only better marketing, but by ensuring Starks Park is a welcoming and enjoyable environment for all. One of the most common pieces of feedback from the Matchday Experience survey was the need to improve toilet facilities for male and female fans. This is something we are committed to addressing over the summer. We are exploring the idea of introducing a second mascot, this time a female character to accompany Rory the Rover. We'd love to hear suggestions on what she should be called. In addition, we're working on a number of new initiatives, including expanding our retail range to offer more items designed for female fans, as well as introducing new events at Starks Park, both on match days and throughout the year. I don't think there's going to be much that I'm going to be able to add here. I'm not a woman, surprisingly, so, well, toilets is great. Better toilets is good. I mean, having more fans in general is good. So I think trying to get more women to be fans of Rave Rovers, fantastic. In terms of that female mascot thing, I got nothing. I'm not good with names. Let's see where it goes, I suppose. Here, the teenage demographic. Through research and conversations with other clubs of a similar size, we've learned that the most effective way to attract supporters aged 13 to 19 is a singing section or an ultras group. As many will be aware, we've been actively trying to engage with the various groups that have gathered at the front of the Penman stand during the second half of the season. In our recent matchday experience survey, 87% of respondents voted in favour of an official singing section. However, the majority of written feedback also highlighted concerns about the behaviour and impact of the current group on nearby supporters. Clubs like Dunfermline, Falkirk and St Mirren have each found success by formally engaging with their groups, setting clear expectations and establishing accountability. Following that model, we recently met with two of the group's informal leaders and shared our expectations for how we could work together more effectively next season. Key elements of the proposed plan include a membership system. Anyone aged 13 or over will be able to register as an official member for a small fee. In return, they'll receive a welcome gift. This allows them to keep a record of names and addresses of all members via our database. A ring-fenced fund. Proceeds from membership fees will be held in a club-managed fund to support the group's activities such as displays, flags and drums, helping to create a better matchday atmosphere. Merchandise support. We will assist the group in sourcing, ordering and selling branded merchandise. Profits will also be directed into the group's fund. And accountability. Because the club will manage the fund, any damage or disruption caused by the group will result in deductions from the fund, creating a clear and fair accountability structure. The initiative won't be trialled on a one-off basis. It will be launched as a full season pilot in 2025-26. We understand the risks of such a trial, but we believe it's worth trying based on feedback from both fans and players. The atmosphere at Starks Park has improved, but it cannot come at the cost of a wider supporter experience. That balance must be protected. I don't know about you, but that's genius. I've seen people complain about the ultras, some of the ultras' behaviour. Like I've said, there's been some bad apples in the bunches there, and seats have been destroyed and things like that. And well, there has been, unfortunately, people chased and all that kind of stuff. But the vast majority of these ultras genuinely just want to come and support the club. From what I can see, they could want to come create an atmosphere, make some noise. Genius way to deal with that. If you want to be an ultra, you have to join this membership programme. The club, therefore, does have some of your personal info. But the main point of that is that now you're putting in an investment into the club, because you're supporting this club not only financially but through your backing as an ultra, and you're going to be held accountable now by the club. But now you don't have to go and buy all your merch on your own. You don't have to go and order all your merch on your own. If you're like the Raith youth, for example, you now get that subsided by the club, by this fund. So there is something in it for you at the same time. So it's not like the board have came out and they've gone and they've said no more ultras because these fans have said so, and it's not like they've said, oh, ultras all the way, and they can just keep going up, they can just keep doing it the way they do it. They've actually made a good compromise here. So this is absolutely fantastic. Round of applause. Amazing stuff, board. So let's go to the under 12 demographic. We will continue to offer free season tickets for under 12s in the upcoming season. An important investment in the future fan base of Raith Rovers, as outlined earlier when we joined the club. We identified that our supporter base was older than average, which presents a long-term risk to the club's future. Encouraging younger fans to fall in love with Raith Rovers is key to building a stronger, more sustainable support. But it's not just about getting kids through the gates, but what happens on match day matters. The food and drink on offer, the atmosphere in the stands, and the fun and games of the Rory Club all play a part. So does the chance to meet Roy the Rover himself. We plan to run several Rory Club days across the season with free goodie bags, face painting and family-friendly entertainment designed to make Starks Park a fun and welcoming place for kids. We are also exploring club-first the club's first sticker book. Available free to Rory Club members, new stickers would be released at each home game, creating a fun collectible experience similar to our popular matchday posters and giving young fans something to look forward to every time they return to Starks Park. Okay, those are all really good in my opinion. I think trying to get a young fan base so you can get Raith fans that are going to grow up, have kids of their own, and turn them into Raith fans. Amazing stuff, but that almost makes it sound like I'm making a like that sounds way too sort of let's use the children to do. But that's basically what branding is, I suppose. But yeah, I think those are really good ways to get children to fall in love with Raith Rovers and to become a fan. Like I said, we need more fans fundamentally, in my opinion. So whether those are children, teenagers, over 65, don't really care, women, men, as long as they become Raith Rovers fans or part of the club, in my opinion. Here we go, we have some revenue generators here. We've increased annual turnover from 1.8 million when we first joined to 3 million in the season just past. This growth has allowed us to invest more into the playing budget. However, even with this increased investment, we estimated that our budget was still only the 7th or 8th biggest in the division by the end of the season. Next season, we estimate our budget could be anywhere between the 4th and the 6th biggest budget in the league. Our job is to find new ways to bring in more revenue or investment to close the gap on the higher spenders, as more often than not, the biggest spending team wins the division. So there's a new club shop in retail. A new club shop is the latest project underway, converting the front main office into a larger retail space with an improved product range. This will offer a more welcoming space for supporters to browse comfortably, which should increase in-person sales, particularly on match days. Retails is one area where we underperformed this season compared to last. Work is already underway to improve our strategy. We need to improve both the quality of our product offering and our marketing, with the aim of boosting sales in the new shop and online next season. There isn't much I can argue with there. New club shop looks really, really good. Yeah, I mean, increasing revenue anywhere is great. So in my opinion, doing that through club shop, increasing quality of products, things like that, looks fine to me. Memberships, we've also focused on improving our memberships, Club 1883 and the Business Network. Club 1883 has been very successful, raising £160,000 since October 2023. That money has supported the numerous improvements around Starks Park that will benefit the club for years to come, and also contributed to the signing of Lewis Stevenson, the player with the most appearances this season. However, we know we need to do more to deliver better value to members who are spending their hard-earned money. We'll start with a new season gift for all existing members as a thank you, and continue to improve communication and add more perks. The Business Network gives us a great opportunity to engage with local businesses at an entry-level partnership. Our approach will be value-led, starting with how we can benefit the business, whether through events, networking opportunities, or room hire. We'll take a tailored approach to meet each business's needs. So it's great that we're focusing more on improving things, like making things more optimal for businesses' needs and things, and need to do things like hire out lounges, things like that. I'm more interested in the fact that they're going to improve 1883. That's great. I think 1883 is a great initiative, and it does introduce partial fan ownership. That's fantastic. I'm all for that. Love Bundesliga, love 50 plus 1 rules, so getting something similar like that in Raith Rovers, I know it isn't 50%, but I mean, we helped sign Lewis Stevenson, so clearly we're doing something right. So yeah, I think the new season gift would be great. I'm hoping there's something there that, because it's a new season gift for people that are coming from this season, Club 1883. I'm hoping there's something that incentivise new people to join 1883, because ultimately that's how you make more income, more revenue. Yeah, I'm just, that would be the only thing which I'm sat there going, I'm hoping there's a good incentive for people to join 1883 this year. New pitch. One of our biggest upcoming expenses is relaying the surface at Stocks Park as its current pitch nears the end of its lifespan. Returning to grass isn't feasible at this stage, particularly while we await clarity on premiership pitch rules. A plastic surface remains essential both for our community work and for generating income through pitch hire. We hope to confirm grad support soon, and work could begin as early as this summer. A new surface will allow us to generate more non-match day income from pitch hire. We're also exploring new partnerships, creative ways to increase revenue from the pitch. Oh man, I'm hoping the debate about grass pitches does get a bit more nuanced here. Not every grass pitch is Livingston, not every grass pitch is Kilmarnock, you know. Raith's plastic pitch is state of the art, or it was. It's getting upgraded now. But anyway, pitches, point about pitches. That was then, this is now. But I think that's good. I like the fact that we're still partially going to be plastic here. I don't know, it's not like they've came out and said it's going to be hybrid or anything. There's rumours that it is going to be hybrid, and that's saying that it could start at this summer, which would be great. I don't know how I feel about the pitch ruling for the Premier League and things, and having to sort of play a sort of tug of war there. You know, that's just the environment that we're at the moment. I like that we're still allowing it to be hired out, community use, things like that, income, and get you closer to the community. Two of your goals are being done at the same time because of the pitch. So that's fantastic. Let's jump into the railway stand, something that I'm personally really, really excited about. The railway stand. Nobody likes that the railway stand is currently unavailable for supporters on match days. Unfortunately, the idea of converting it into a hospitality area with standard seating is far too expensive to consider. However, we've uncovered plans from over 10 years ago that proposed concreting every 2 rows, potentially making it safe and feasible to introduce terracing for home supporters. We don't want to raise expectations prematurely, as this may prove unviable, particularly when considering whether it would generate enough revenue to justify the investment. We would need to be confident that making the stand usable would attract more supporters, increase great receipts as a result. That said, it could become an ideal space for a singing section, offering the perfect environment to generate more atmosphere without disrupting the matchday experience for other supporters. Unfortunately, the video that I made for this was deleted or corrupted. Something happened to it and it's gone. Anyway, the railway stand I'm really excited about. I'm hoping that the plans for making it into a singing section could go ahead. I think that would definitely solve a lot of the issues that some fans have had with some of the ultras. I'm hoping this can go ahead, but it's subject to money, unfortunately. On the pitch. The biggest driver of revenue at any football club is on-pitch success, whether through prize money from various competitions or the broader buzz that boosts income across all areas connected to a winning team. As mentioned earlier, the data shows that in this division, the team with the highest budget usually wins promotion. Raith Rovers have spent 28 out of the last 28 seasons in the second tier, and it's fair to say we've likely never had the highest or even second highest budget during that time. In that context, our inability to return to the top flight is perhaps not surprising. That said, promotion without the biggest budget isn't impossible. To achieve it, we must work harder and smarter than our rivals, finding an edge over clubs with deeper pockets that may not be using their resources as effectively. That seems like fair analysis. Let's jump into the plan. Enhanced performance analysis. Over the past 6 months, the club has benefited from the involvement of Mark McKenna, performance analysis manager at the Scottish FA. When not on international duty, Mark spends time at Stocks Park in a coaching capacity and is also part of the dugout team on match days, assisting with in-game strategy. Through Mark's connection with the Scottish FA, we've also gained the support of Charlie and Robert, 2 interns who work with him at both the Scotland and Raith Rovers. They regularly assist at Stocks Park during the week, helping to film training sessions using a range of equipment, including a drone we've invested in. They also analyse opposition teams, providing Barry and John with tailored clips and insights to support match preparation. This investment in Mark and his team has undoubtedly contributed to our success in the second half of the season, and it's an area we are committed to continuing to support and develop. Ultimately, anything that helped us get on that massive 10-game unbeaten run last season, anything that helped us get there, gets support from me, because clearly they're doing something right. If they keep going with that strategy, next year things might turn out better. Recruitment and analysis team. We are in the process of hiring Raith Rovers' first ever recruitment analyst, and will join the football department in part-time capacity, working closely with John and Barry. Data analysis now plays a vital role in recruitment at clubs at all levels of the game, while no player will be significantly based solely on data. Incorporating into our recruitment strategy make the process of identifying an equivalent talent and equivalating talent significantly more efficient. The role of the recruitment analyst at Raith Rovers is to understand Barry's game model and define the player profiles that best fit it. Each profile includes a set of attributes and relevant metrics are assigned to each. Using these metrics, we will build an algorithm to generate a long list of players who match the criteria. From their traditional scouting methods come into play, an area we are also investing in as part of strengthening up the recruitment team. This will include both in-person and video scouts covering a range of leagues and regions. Their role is to help narrow the data-driven long list into a short list, giving Barry the best possible information to make final recruitment decisions. We believe this investment will help us uncover hidden talent, players who can succeed at this level without the high price tag that comes with more widely known names in the division. This seems really smart from my perspective. It's finding a way to compromise not having the highest budget but trying to find really good players. I think it's a great thing to do. I think it's clearly worked since Barry's came in. So yeah, my opinion, not much I can add to that other than that looks ideal. Recruitment Hub. We are currently developing an online platform that will centralise all recruitment activity at Raith Rovers, supported by the newly appointed Recruitment Analyst. This is another example of infrastructure investment designed to benefit the club over the long term. The platform will integrate a data feed to build and maintain a live database of players across all leagues. We are actively scouting. Using our custom algorithm, it will automatically generate a long list of potential signings based on predefined player profiles. In addition to automating data, the system will allow John and Barry to upload and store traditional scouting reports and video analysis, keeping all recruitment information in one place. This will streamline the entire process, with the object being to increase our chances of identifying the right players more effectively. It's a strategic investment in our recruitment infrastructure, one that supports long-term success. I really like what the board's trying to do here. They're trying to use both, I'm assuming AI takes part and creates this database of players. And they can do it maybe a bit more, I don't want to say passively, but it's not like the whole recruitment team is going to have to be constantly 100% looking for this player, this player, this player, and this player. No, they've also got things like this system on hand, which allows them to create that database, and then they can use that as well as what they've looked into to increase the possibility of improving the squad and making things better for us on the pitch by 2 times, by effectively not only having more manpower but having the ability of technology too. So in my opinion, I don't see anything wrong with that. I mean, just make sure your security is up to date and thus avoid any possibility of a data breach, and everything's good. Conclusion. When we asked what does Raith Rovers mean to you, the most common single word was everything. That feeling goes both ways. While Raith Rovers might mean everything to you, our supporters are everything to the club. If we're going to earn promotion back to the top flight, we can't do it without you. That means you're backing on match day and bringing a friend along to Starks Park to experience that sense of belonging and connection that might come with a first visit. Or perhaps you'd like to volunteer. If there's a project or area outlined in this document where you think you can add value, we need you. Are you a local business owner or manager who hasn't yet been in touch about partnering with us commercially? there may be an opportunity to benefit one another. Or maybe you're considering investing. Do you want to be part of the club? Do you want to be part of this club's exciting journey and support the club financially? We welcome your feedback, and if you think you can help in any way, please get in touch. 28 years is too long. We will get there. Let's do it together. Overall, I'm really optimistic. I'm really happy with this plan. I like that it's came out this early. It shows that it's been in the planning stage, in the development for a really long time. And I think that's good. I think that shows that this board, I mean, we know this already, but this board cares about the club. It wants the club to succeed. And thus, I think the fans always want the club to succeed. And I think the goal is very clear here. We need more money. We need more investment when it comes to technology. We need more investment when it comes to the football inside. And we're only going to be able to do that together, right? So in my opinion, I think tomorrow, if I don't think, I mean, I don't know if this, well, tomorrow, there will be a shorter video explaining all this stuff, but either way, I hope you guys, we're in this together. You got to get your season tickets, so you got to go to the games. You've got to keep supporting the Rovers, in my opinion. You've got to be there. It's us. It's our club. This is the only club that's going to be ours, right? If you're from Kirkcaldy, it's the only club that's going to be your club. It's your local team. And I love the ending there. I love the sentiment. We are the Rovers, right? We might not be the greatest team in the world. We might not have the highest budget. We might not play the greatest football, but we're our team. And we need you there next season. So, I hope I do see you there next season. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.